Welcome to the Weather Guru Podcast for December 28, 2025, the final Sunday of 2025 here. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that subscribe button on the like button on the way in as you look at weather conditions currently interpreting for the lower 48 United States. Appreciate your support. Right now, we're looking at the GFS model, and as you can see, winter is trying to make a comeback here in the upper Midwest, and that's going to be spreading into the Ohio Valley and Northeast later on today. Snow showers continue from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Rochester, Minnesota, back into Iowa City, Iowa, Des Moines, and into Omaha, Nebraska. On the backside, cold winds, northwest winds continue to make the wind chills feel single digits to below zero. Rain ahead of that for Chicagoland, hello to you, in Gary, Indiana, and also in Michigan City, Indiana, and into Detroit, and also in the Cleveland and Erie. Rain will be spreading over the Ohio Valley and the Laurel Highlands area in the central area and Appalachians later on today on Sunday. But as we advance the map here, you can see that the snow advances eastward. Just a quick little clipper system here providing snow for central Pennsylvania, northern New York, Adirondacks, may get some snow. You notice this rain on that warm sector here for the Green and White Mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire, as well as Maine, a mix here. Rain on the I-95 corridor, you notice here by Monday, December 29th here, rain for Trenton, New York City as opposed to snow. They got New York City yesterday got 4.5 inches of snow in Central Park. That's all going to be melted as this rain comes through on Monday morning, December 29th, 2025, according to GFS model, into the Mid-Atlantic, Baltimore, Maryland, D.C., and into Richmond, Virginia. Now, as I advance the GFS model, that frontal boundary clears, and look what happens before. We have a digging jet stream dips south, and that cold air is going to spill all the way into the Carolinas here. Excuse me, in that Arctic air. Out west, we have a ridge building, and that's going to bring warm temperatures for Denver, Albuquerque, Phoenix, back toward Las Vegas, and San Diego, and LA basin, warming up in the west. That's going to be the trend coming up this coming week for the last week of 2025. Into Wednesday, December 31st, things clear out. There's some scattered showers here, snow showers along the Great Lakes region. Here's some lake effect taking effect for the last day of 2025. And then as we get into the new year here, the pattern still remains cool and dry. A few snow showers triggered from lake effect into the Appalachians, the Central Appalachians, and also the Great Lakes for January the 1st, 2026, New Year's. And then out west, the Pineapple Express kicks up again. So there may be a rainy New Year's on Thursday, January 1st, 2026 for LA, San Francisco, back in the Inland Empire, Las Vegas, even in Phoenix, looking at possible showers around. As we head into the first weekend of 2026, you can see the GFS model predicts a quiet scenario for much of the country here, and warm temperatures will be in Dallas-Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Topeka, Kansas, back into Kearney, Nebraska. Warm temperatures all the way up into Intermountain West and the Rockies and the Outer West, and even in the Southeast, temperatures will be 5 to 10 to 15 degrees above average to start the first weekend of 2026. So something to look forward to as well. Showers remain confined to mostly the western zones here, the Pacific Northwest, and as the Pineapple Express continues through January the 4th, 2026. Now, looking at the water vapor for today, December 28, 2025, the South remains dry and comfortable. That orange air extending from Nashville, Tennessee, down to Huntsville, Birmingham, down to Pensacola, Tallahassee, back in the Macon, Georgia, back down to Tampa, St. Pete, Daytona Beach, Orlando, Miami, West Palm, Naples looking excellent, New Orleans looking excellent, Houston looking excellent, as that dry air continues to seep along the Gulf Coast. But you can see that we have that green here, that moisture coming into Chicago, into Kenosha, Wisconsin, back into Michigan City, Indiana, back into Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, Grand Rapids. You're going to experience these showers, like I said, for Sunday, and that's going to continue as these storms press eastward ahead of this frontal boundary. Dry air remains confined in the southwest as well. Phoenix, Albuquerque, back towards San Diego. Beautiful conditions there today. Now, your maximum temperatures, your high temperatures for Sunday, December 28th, show a stark contrast. Right now, ahead of the front, things are looking warm. It's 68 degrees Fahrenheit in Indianapolis, 74 degrees for a high in Nashville, Tennessee, 81 degrees Fahrenheit for a high in Tampa, St. Pete. And then we have that wedge of cold air behind it here. You can see temperatures as the frontal boundary is already passed through, only 7 degrees above in Fargo for a high today, only 22 degrees Fahrenheit in Pierre, South Dakota. And then we have that that cold air dammed up against the Yellowstone and the northern Rockies there. 17 degrees Fahrenheit for Casper, Wyoming here. Some warm air is all confined along the Gulf Coast and the Ohio Valley for your Sunday. Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, kind of in a wedge of cold air right now. 42 degrees Fahrenheit for Washington, D.C. for a high. 34 degrees Fahrenheit for Boston. So it's a little bit chilly, but nothing too crazy as the wind chills factors are not there. So as the wind is kind of calm. But looking at the National Weather Service current hazards, you can see there is a winds high wind warning and advisory in effect in brown here. This includes Dallas, Fort Worth metroplex area, as well as Austin, San Antonio. The frontal boundaries came through, and now the winds and those strong northwest winds could be gusting up to 50 miles an hour. So high profile vehicles and other things, you want to be careful on I-35, I-45, I-20, I-10 coming across Texas plains there, and also in Oklahoma City, Topeka, Kansas, Wichita, as well as in the St. Louis, Missouri, up I-70 corridor there, Indianapolis, Champaign, Kankakee, back towards Columbus, Dayton, Springfield. Good morning to you. And also in the Nashville I-40, if you're coming from Memphis to Nashville to Jackson, that area, high wind warnings, advisories in brown in effect. Now up north, the northeast, winter weather advisories, nothing too crazy here. Like I said, you could get a mix of rain and snow in the Adirondacks, the Green and White Mountains, the Berkshires, the Catskills, northern Pennsylvania, north of the Turnpike of I-80. You could get a mix of maybe 1 or 2 inches of rain or snow, but nothing too crazy. And then we have in red here a blizzard warning here. This is very serious on I-29 coming from Fargo, North Dakota, down through Bemidji, back toward Minnesota, western Minnesota here, and western counties here west of Minneapolis, St. Paul, back toward the border with Iowa and Albert Lee, Minnesota. Be very careful. Conditions in the UP and Michigan too, very dangerous from Marquette to Houghton. We have blizzard warnings in red in effect there, so very tough travel conditions in that area, as well as Iron Mountain, Wisconsin there, with winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings. Out west, we just have fog in the Central Valleys from the Cascades of Oregon down to the Central Joaquin Valleys of California, and then we have a severe thunderstorm warning here east of San Diego. If you're coming along 15 or 805 east of San Diego, or the 15 out of 5 heading out towards east or west of San Diego, be very careful. There's a thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. So this is the latest forecast model going on with the weather for today, December 28, 2025. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next episode. Blessings on the weekend. Take care.